can't believe I'm saying this, but this $600 card is actually about to be insane. This is one of the most toxic end boards I've ever seen, and Dragon Master Magia happens to be the linchpin on this end board that can be made off of one single card plus any discard. And yes, this is a hot red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity that activated and resolved during our opponent's draw phase, so they are not playing. And yes, it was protected by 2 Omni Negates. I can't believe they're actually doing this, but Blue Eyes White Dragon is potentially tier 1 material with the upcoming new support. Dragon Master Magia recently got spoiled in the TCG, and this card is already over $600 as a QCR printing, but people kind of shrugged it off. They said, you know what, it has a high price tag, but it's not really playable. Well, what if I told you that with the new Blue Eyes cards, this is an integral piece of the end board in the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, and it's made possible off of one single card, quite literally. Okay, so before we dive in though, let's rewind and talk a little bit about what the heck is going on with Blue Eyes White Dragon. Well, for those of you guys that are not aware, Blue Eyes White Dragon is getting an upcoming structure deck in the OCG that basically gave them some new support to push them quite literally over the edge. Let's start by talking about some of the significant cards that are going to be in this upcoming structure deck. Starting out with the Link 1 monster that was recently spoiled called Spirit with Eyes of Blue, which requires the level 4 or lower Dragon or Spellcaster monster. When this card is Link summoned, you can actually search for a Mausoleum of White. Yeah, classic Striker Dragon Link 1 search field spell. Or you can search for a spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you can either add this card to your hand or send it to the graveyard. On the field, you contribute this card as a cost to special summon a Blue Eyes monster from your hand or your graveyard non-targeting. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't need to be said, but Link 1s in Yu-Gi-Oh have always been broken, and this card literally allows you to search for your entire engine while being easily made off of any of the white monsters. The crazy part is this is a generic Link monster, so you can make it with cards like Effect Veiler or cards like the Baby Chaos Dragons, or even Magistus Chorizo, a fusion monster in the OCG that can be made using any monster from the extra deck alongside a Spellcaster monster. So in the right deck, you just have to Link spam something like a Celine, get 2 monsters on the board, go into Chorizo, and then you can go directly into Spirit. I think it's also interesting that this is a callback to Kisara in the anime actually becoming the Blue Eyes White Dragon Spirit, so a nice little lore addition there. We're also getting another synchro monster in the form of Blue Eyes Spirit Ultimate Dragon. This is Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in spiritual form, much like Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and this card can actually be special summoned off of Spirit Dragon itself by tributing it. It prevents your opponent from banishing any cards from your graveyard, and also is an Omni Negate that allows you to negate any card or effect activated on the field. And if it leaves the table by your opponent, you can actually special summon a light dragon monster from your graveyard, so you can go directly into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. The fact that this card is level 12 actually works really well with existing synchro support like Crimson Dragon. You guys can kind of see where this is going. Anytime you have Crimson Dragon out with a level 12, yeah, it ends up in, well, a Calamity more or less. You know what makes it worse is the fact that I realized Crimson Dragon is literally a light dragon monster, which means Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon can literally tribute itself to go into Crimson Dragon on top of everything we just talked about. So that's it for the spoiled extra deck monsters up to this point in time. There might be more in the future based on the set numbers and the missing pieces, but we'll find out, I guess, in a couple of weeks' time. Maiden of White is a retrain of Maiden with Eyes of Blue. This is also a level 1 tuner monster spellcaster that allows you to send it from your hand or field to the graveyard to place a true light from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up into your spell and trap zone, meaning you can activate it immediately when it's placed. It also has an effect in the graveyard where you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon while it's in the graveyard. You can actually bring herself back as a special summon, and then when a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when it's declared for an attack target, you can actually, as a quick effect, special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a level 1 light tuner monster from your graveyard, non-targeting. This card is very busted if you think about it, because you can instantly place True Light onto the table and start searching for a plethora of things, including some of the new support spell and trap cards that we're about to talk about. Prayers with Eyes of Blue is one of these spell cards that says you can discard a card to add a level 1 light tuner monster and 1 spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand. It's basically the Melody of Awakening Dragon, except you can actually search for Effect Veiler as well as any Blue Eyes White Dragon spell or trap card. But the second one is the broken effect that ties everything together and actually allows you to go into Dragon Master Magia in the blink of an eye. This card allows you to banish it from the graveyard to target a Blue Eyes White Dragon you control and equip a Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck to it as an equipped spell that boosts the attack by 400 attack, which means you can literally now equip Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to Blue Eyes White Dragon, and that just enables you to get Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon into rotation without having to actually special summon it from your extra deck. This means that we can now use Ultimate Fusion to shuffle back that Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from the graveyard to try and special summon out Dragon Master Magia, which is just busted because you're cheating out the entire concept of requiring 3 Blue Eyes monsters to go into Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And then the last card that's actually relevant in the combos we're going to talk about in this video is NEO-KAISER Seahorse. This is a retrain of Kaiser Seahorse. If you guys remember back in the day, starter deck Kaiba Evolution, yep, now we're getting a retrain of NEO-KAISER Seahorse that allows you to special summon itself from your hand if you control Blue Eyes White Dragon. And then if it's sent to the graveyard from the field, you can actually send a Blue Eyes monster or a monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your graveyard. So it starts off a lot of combos in addition to being a level 4 tuner. This is kind of relevant because 4 plus any level 8 Blue Eyes monster goes easily into Crimson Dragon or even the Centurion synchro monsters. I'm happy to announce I have 2 masterclasses, the first of which is FIENDSMITH Snake Eyes. It goes very in-depth into everything you need to know about the deck. We go over basically every single end board that you need to know in order to play around Nibiru and also the other hand traps in the format. And also how to beat certain matchups, how to tailor your end boards to beat a given matchup. And of course, important deck building advice like how to side deck, what cards to take out for a given matchup, what cards to take out going first and second. I can straight up say with confidence right now that none of these plays are available anywhere on YouTube or on the internet, and only the top players are actually aware of these lines right now. For the Tenpai lovers, there's a Tenpai masterclass that goes over more or less the same thing just for Tenpais, and we talk about all of the matchups plus the cards that you can play for the current metagame. So the best hand traps, and more importantly, where to actually drop the hand traps so you can hurt the top decks the most. Also, if you're a Patreon member, you get 50% off both of these masterclasses, so definitely check that out. All right, so this is the first broken Blue Eyes combo that's made possible with the new cards, and it's actually trending on Twitter right now thanks to the Twitter user by the name of WhiteKWK. So huge shout out to them for actually creating this combo, but it's really, really wicked, and I'm gonna show you guys how it's done. They also have a YouTube channel, so definitely go check them out. I'm sure they'll be innovating some brand new broken Blue Eyes combos down the line because we don't even have all the cards spoiled yet. There's still some more cards that will be spoiled in a couple of days. So the combo is crazy, but all we need is 1 Sage with Eyes of Blue plus any card in our hand to discard. And we're gonna start off by normal summoning Sage with Eyes of Blue. Those of you guys that actually played back in 2016 will remember this card being one of the core pieces in the Blue Eyes deck back in the day, but it allows you to add a level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand when he's normal summoned. So we're gonna add Maiden of White, which is the new card we just went over. Now we're gonna activate Maiden of White's effect in the hand to send it to the graveyard to place True Light from our deck face up on the field. And True Light actually has 2 effects. You can summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand or graveyard, but better yet, you can actually activate the effect to set a spell or trap directly from our deck that specifically lists Blue Eyes White Dragon in its text. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna set the brand new card Prayer with Eyes of Blue. That again allows you to discard a card to add 2 cards from your deck to your hand. So this is why we need the card in our hand to discard to pay for the cost of Prayers. And then we're gonna add Master with Eyes of Blue. Yeah, it's actually crazy that we're gonna be playing some cards that were absolutely unplayable back in the day, like Master with Eyes of Blue. This is a really old card, but now it becomes integral to the actual combo that we're going to be demonstrating. So now we are going to link off the Sage into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Remember, this card when it's summoned, you can actually add a Mausoleum of White from your deck to your hand. So that's absolutely crazy. We're going to activate Mausoleum of White to target the Spirit with Eyes of Blue to foolish a Blue Eyes White Dragon from our deck to our graveyard. So this is our first look at the actual Blue Eyes White Dragon. So the deck revolves around this bad boy, and we are going to use Spirit to summon him out from the graveyard by tributing itself. Then we're going to activate Maiden of White that allows itself to trigger and special summon back whenever we summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. So this puts a level 1 light tuner plus a Blue Eyes White Dragon on the board, which is nice for Spirit, but we're also going to take advantage of Mausoleum of White's secondary continuous effect that allows you to normal summon in addition to your normal summoner set. So we get to summon another tuner on the board, and we are going to use the effect of Master to add back a level 1 light tuner from our graveyard back to our hand. So Sage with Eyes of Blue adds back to our hand. Then we banish Prayers to equip the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to our Blue Eyes White Dragon, fulfilling one of the key pieces that we need for Dragon Master Magia. Then we can synchro off into the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon with the Master plus Blue Eyes White Dragon. Use Spirit to tag out into Ancient Fairy Dragon, another light dragon, and then we can use the effect to pop the Mausoleum, gain 1,000 life points, add Dragon Ravine from our deck to our hand, then activate the effect of Mausoleum of White to add a copy of Burst Stream of Destruction by banishing it. So yes, there are a couple of bricks in this combo, but again, this is the first ever combo we've seen. I'm sure people will innovate it and make it even better. And the Burst of Stream of Destruction is just a nice for a free discard for the Dragon Ravine. Otherwise, we'd have to have another card in our hand to discard. So we discard Burst Stream, then we send a copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon or the other Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon. We just need a Chaos Ritual monster to fulfill for the other material for Dragon Master Magia, which unlocks Ultimate Fusion to shuffle back the 2 pieces, Ultimate Dragon plus the Ritual, to go into Dragon Master Magia. This requires Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon plus 1 Chaos Ritual monster, and it also can negate up to 3 cards per turn, a spell, monster, or trap, which is absolutely crazy. Now we can activate Sage with Eyes of Blue's secondary effect in the hand to target a monster on the field to send to the graveyard and special summon a Blue Eyes monster from our deck. So we're going to target Maiden, and if our opponent has nothing in response, we can chain the quick effect to Maiden, which when it's targeted, we can special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon or a level 1 tuner from our graveyard. So we will actually special summon back the Sage that we sent as a cost from our hand to the graveyard. Then we'll resolve the Sage's effect from our hand, which sends the Maiden of White to special summon a Blue Eyes Jet Dragon from our deck to the table. Now from here, we can synchro summon with the Ancient Fairy Dragon and the Sage to go off into Exile Stardust Dragon to bring back another tuner from our graveyard. So we'll recycle that Sage. And it's really important to get Exile Synchro. You guys are going to see why, but this is really, really relevant. But first, we're going to Synchro Summon again for a second copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. We actually use all 3 copies in this combo. Then we can tag out again, because this card is broken. It's not once per turn for whatever reason, just an older card. They would not expect us to be able to summon more than 1 per turn, but here we are. So we're going to tag out and maximize its effect to summon up Crimson Dragon, which is just busted that you can cheat this out. And Crimson Dragon, when it's special summoned, not even Synchro Summoned, you can add a card that mentions it from your deck to your hand. So we'll add Synchro Rumble. Synchro Rumble is effectively a monster reborn for any tuner monster from our graveyard. So we'll summon back the Sage again. And then we will bring back the effect of Master. So this allows you to shuffle itself from the graveyard back to your deck to target a monster on the field, send to the graveyard, and special summon 1 Blue Eyes monster from your graveyard to the field. So this is why it's really, really relevant. So we summon back the Spirit Dragon. We can't use the effect to tag again, but we're going to pass our turn. And then on our opponent's turn, what we have is True Light's effect. So we can use that again to bring back Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then we can bring back Maiden to trigger because we summoned Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now we can actually activate the effect of Exile Synchro Stardust Dragon to special summon out a Stardust Dragon from our extra deck. Then we can Synchro Summon using monsters we control. It does not have to include the monster we special summon by its ability. So we can actually use Blue Eyes White Dragon plus Maiden to tag out into our 3rd Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Then use that effect to summon out a copy of the Blue Eyes Spirit Ultimate Dragon. And if this end board was not threatening enough, it doesn't stop there because we still have Crimson Dragon, and now we can target the level 12 monster to special summon out, well, you guys know where this is going, either the Calamity to lock out your opponent for the rest of the turn, or you can just go off into Cosmic Blazar Dragon if you want to kind of make it so your opponent can still play, but not really. So if you want to soften the blow a bit, maybe you can go to Blazar Dragon instead of the Calamity, but this combo is just nuts off of 1 single Sage plus a discard card. So the second combo is very similar, but you can actually use NEO-KAISER Seahorse to do more or less the same combo, and you still need a discard in your hand for prayers, but you normal summon Seahorse, link off into your spirit, use the effect of the Kaiser Seahorse and the Spirit to send Maiden of White and also add Mausoleum of White from your deck to your hand. Then you can actually activate Mausoleum of White to target, send the Blue Eyes White Dragon, use the effect of Spirit to summon back the Blue Eyes White Dragon plus the Maiden to instantly go off into your plays by sending the Maiden of White for the True Light, just like we did in the other combo. You can send it from hand or field to the graveyard, just really nutty. Then you can actually activate True Light to set a copy of Prayers, activate Prayers by discarding that free fodder in your hand, and then add Sage plus Ultimate Fusion. So from here, what we can actually do is activate to equip a copy of Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, just like we did in the other combo. Then we can additional normal summon out the Sage with Eyes of Blue, add Master with Eyes of Blue, and then we can go off into our first Spirit Dragon, use the effect to tag out into Ancient Fairy Dragon, pop the Mausoleum to add a copy of Dragon Ravine, and then activate. So very, very similar lines. Use Mausoleum to add Burst Stream of Destruction. Dragon Ravine, pitch the free discard off of the Burst Stream. Send a copy of the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon or Chaos Max, doesn't really matter. Use Ultimate Fusion to Fusion Summon your Dragon Master Magia, so you're safe from basically every every single card, I guess. Then we can use Ancient Fairy Dragon to bring out the Master. Master can be synchroned off into Exhale Stardust Dragon, bring back the Maiden, and then from here we can use the effect of Master just like we did in the other combo to target the Maiden. Maiden will chain to bring back the Sage, and then we will use the effect to bring out the Blue Eyes White Dragon with the Master, resolving that chain. And then we can Synchro Summon yet again to bring out a second copy of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now on our opponent's turn, you guys know the drill. Use True Light to bring back the Blue Eyes White Dragon plus the Maiden. And then we can use the effect of the Stardust to summon out the Stardust, and then Synchro Summon on our opponent's turn, go off into Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, who can tag out, or the Blue Eyes Spirit Ultimate Dragon rather, and then go off into the Crimson Dragon, and then use the effect of Crimson Dragon, target the Spirit to bring about Calamity, or to bring out the Cosmic Blazer Dragon. So yeah, I was not expecting Blue Eyes White Dragon to ever be this combo heavy, nor so OP off of literally one card and a discard. What do you guys think about the deck? Do you think this is actually gonna be viable? Or are hand traps like Bystios and Nibiru gonna actually keep this deck in check? Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys next video. Thanks a lot for tuning in.